Hey everyone, it's John here from Hot Take Hockey to give you a trade between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. So if you are here, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like. The Toronto Maple Leafs have acquired Jordan Schmaltz from the St. Louis Blues in exchange for Andreas Borgman. So right off the bat, I want to go over stats, where these players have come from. So Andreas Borgman, a left shot defenseman, 24 years of age. The Leafs signed him out of Sweden. So in his first year in North America, he played with the Toronto Maple Leafs 48 games, 11 points for 3 goals and 8 assists. He also played games in the Marlies that year, 25 games, 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 total points. This past year, injuries caught up to him. He only played 45 games with the Marlies, 4 goals, 13 assists for 17 points. And I think that is something in this trade that maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking at in injury issues. He really never got going with the organization. But it was only 2 years, and I will say maybe it's because he's also a left-handed defenseman. But I'm going to talk about why this is a little weird for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But first, let's look at who they acquired. So they acquired Jordan Schmaltz, right shot defenseman, 25 years of age, so he is older than Borgman. But he is a former first-round pick that never really panned out. So he was drafted in the first round by the Blues, 25th overall in the 2012 NHL entry draft. In the 2018-2019 season, he split time with the Blues and San Antonio Rampage of the AHL. With the Blues in 20 games, he only had 2 points, 2 assists. And then he played 36 games with the Rampage, 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 points. So this is more weird for me because I look at the Toronto Maple Leafs and you have a guy like Borgman who can skate, he's big, he can hit. And I feel like that's what the Leafs have needed on the blue line. You saw the big impact Jake Muzzin had on the blue line, and I thought going into this season, Borgman would have a chance to be the 6th or 7th defenseman going in, especially with Travis Dermott being injured. So this is a little weird for me on that side of things. Yes, if I look at Jordan Schmaltz, maybe a change of scenery helps him. I don't know if this is a favor for the Toronto Maple Leafs doing for the St. Louis Blues. Jordan Schmaltz, he is a right-handed defenseman. The Leafs have more depth on the left side. I'm just trying to think of reasons for the Leafs to have made this trade. But for me, I feel like Borgman provides more value to what the Leafs are trying to accomplish. And especially to start the year, you have a guy like Travis Dermott injured, and you have a guy like Borgman. Like I said, he's physical, he can hit, and it's not like he's a slow, like usually players that are physical, are big, and want to hit in the corners are a lot slower on transition. But that's not really Andreas Borgman. We have been impressed with Andreas Borgman when we've seen him, but last year he was just injured, and there was just a few players ahead of him, and that was just the issue. But this year, coming up with Dermott injured, Gardner probably not re-signing, Borgman was given the opportunity potentially to crack it, but no, now he's traded to the St. Louis Blues, and Jordan Schmaltz comes the other way. Like I said, Schmaltz is a former first-round pick. He was a guy that, when he was drafted, looked like he had some offensive potential, but has never really panned out. And you see, yes, he was playing in a third-line role when he was called up, but in 20 games, only 2 assists, -7. So on that side of things, I am a little confused for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe they look at Jordan Schmaltz as being ahead of a guy like Justin Holl in the depth chart. So this is not the end of the world trade. Yes, Andreas Borgman for myself, I would have liked to see him in training camp, healthy, try to crack the opening night lineup, at least in the 6 or 7 spot, and see what he can do to start the year. That's not the case. He might get an opportunity with the Blues, but the Blues are a little crowded on the blue line, so he might at most be like the 7th defenseman to start the year, or maybe play in the AHL. But for Jordan Schmaltz, I don't really see him starting in the NHL, maybe again as the 7th defenseman, but he is a right shot, so if they see him above the depth chart as all the other right shots, and Liljegren's another one, I wonder how Dubas and the organization sees Liljegren's process and sees what he can do coming forward into the league. So is Jordan Schmaltz an NHL defenseman? Not really, in my opinion. He's probably a fringe defenseman. I would mark him as a 7th defenseman, where Borgman in the same spot, but we've seen a lot less of him. So we're going to wait to see what Borgman does with the defending Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. Thank you for watching this video. If you are new, please subscribe to the channel. Drop a like. Every like counts. Let me know what you think on this trade. Again, it's not a huge trade, but definitely worth talking about. So thank you for watching. This was John from Hot Take Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.